Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and this is kind of a smaller tier list, but I had the big Steamfest demos that all came out, and I downloaded a bunch of them. I tried to play them as many as I could in one night. I didn't get as many as I thought because, spoiler alert, one of these was really good that made me lose a bunch of my time. But these are the 9 games that I tried and what I recommend buying. Basically, how this tier list will work, it's a little bit different. S tier means I'm gonna buy day one or as fast as humanly possible. A tier is that I would probably look into buying it depending on the price. There could be some things. B is just all price. If the price is cheap enough, I'd probably do it. C is I probably pass, and D is like I just hated the game. Definitely would never buy, no matter even if it was free. So yeah, we're gonna jump right into it, and right off the bat, we had Weeb Store Simulator. I thought it was gonna be kind of a weird game. I love simulator games. I try to play as many as humanly possible. As you see, out of the 9 games here, we have 7 that have simulator in their name, so you can tell that's kind of what my vibe is. I really was kind of thinking, I'm like, oh, this might be a mix between like having a video game store, and it kind of seemed like you would own like a GameStop. Well, I just couldn't even get this game to work 90% of it. I soft locked it like 3 times in a row, and then I finally got it almost to a point of working, and it just didn't want to work. I don't know what was up with it. I know it was a demo. I saw online some of the people had the same kind of issues on that one area. I think it's like you do just the wrong combination of things and it soft locks it, even if you try not to unlock it. I really don't know. It was definitely not worth my time. I would probably maybe give it a second chance if somebody said the issue was fixed and that, but I mean, I would only try the demo again. I would definitely not buy this game. It is indeed, it's the worst game that like I had very little hopes for it, and it didn't really go better than that. Next up, we have Parasites, which is like a zombie survival horror game. A lot of people compared it to being like Tomb Raider slash like Project Z, or like you know stuff like that, or The Forest. That's what I heard a lot about. And yeah, it's just a really horned up version of that. Like your clothes just have no durability, and it was a little crazy and dicey to play on stream. I definitely don't think it was anything special. I think like they definitely had some stuff going for it, but I think overall, in the limited time that I played, it wasn't really quite my thing. I think I'm gonna put it on the pass for the time being. I would possibly check it out again, maybe when it gets a little bit more stuff, just to maybe see if they added some stuff. Because like if it has a forest vibe, I like the forest. I'd give it a shot, even though it's kind of horned up. But uh, I really, at the moment, it's a pass for me. Next up, we have Kabuko Park. It's kind of like a bug catching, bug battling game. It's very cute. The art style is really wonderful. I was really excited because I like creature collection games, and I was really excited to see how this one goes. The art is just amazing. The cards itself, like when you do the battling, like you use like cards that each bug have, they weren't anything too crazy. I'm not a big like play the right card, the right fit. I'm not a big like roguelike person. Some of them are fun, some of them are okay. This one I thought was like the middle of the road. It felt like it's going to be very grindy. Obviously it's a demo, so there wasn't much, but I was thinking depending on what you could kind of see what the demo had, like you would grind a lot, so you'd spend a bunch of time, but then you'd probably beat the game pretty fast after just grinding. Like you'd have a good chunk of time into the game, but like not a lot of substance, at least right now. So at the moment, it kind of goes on that B range for me, where it's like I thought it was a solid game. Depending on the price and depending on when it came out, I probably would pick it up because it was really cute, like, and I liked it. It just really depends on the price to me, because like if it was too high, I probably would skip on it. But if it had a nice price point, I think I would buy it. Obviously, again, like it just depends on what is going on. Next up is Order 13. It is a like parcel sim slash horror game. It kind of seemed pretty cool. Honestly, like the mechanics of the game, if you minus the horror stuff, I kind of was already involved and kind of happy about it. I think overall, I think this game is coming out pretty soon. This is all depending on price to me on this game, because it feels like there's probably a limited story it feels similar to it's that the cafe game that's a horror game by like the famous person. It's like Chilla Art, I think. I'm gonna say it probably terrible wrong, but like you have fun doing the stuff that's not the horror game, and you kind of want a game of just that. And I kind of feel like that's what this is, but we'll see. And I feel like also in the demo they want to get rid of, or they want to show you too much of the scariness. It definitely had some scariness. I definitely would say it's a good horror game, but I felt like a little bit like mixed in between because I was like I kind of like just the partial shipment, which obviously we see the next game is partial shipment or simulator, so like it seemed interesting. But it was just spooky Amazon, and again, I'll put it in B. It's coming out very soon. I want to see what the price is. If the price is right, I might pick it up. It just kind of really depends because those type of games just all fall under pricing. Because honestly, like if it's like a $40 game, I'm definitely probably not gonna buy it. But if it was in the sweet spot between like $10 to $15, I think I would pick it up, especially if it goes on sale right away. But I think it just kind of depends. Next up, we have Parcel Sim. This one was an interesting one because like I said, I like like simulators in general. I think this one definitely was very complicated. Like there's a lot of stuff, but you kind of once you get the hang of it, it starts feeling better, and then you get more and more and more. So it's a little daunting. I think I wouldn't be as relaxed on this one compared to like I like my simulators being like difficult, but like not that I'm just like I'm having to write down notes and trying to figure out everything. And that one starts to get a little bit more difficult. Obviously, I think you get more and more tools to help you make it easier, but it felt like at least in the demo it was getting harder and harder. Again, still not a bad thing, just kind of my more personal thing. I definitely gonna put this in A tier. It's definitely a game I want to pick up. Again, always depends on pricing when it's a game that I'm like pretty sure I want to buy. This one I would lean on probably picking it up either way at some point. I kind of liked it a lot. Again, it's one of those games where I felt like it was just like it's very complicated. So like if it might not be a game you pick up right away. Next up, we got Promise Mascot Agency. This reminded me of an anime that I watched. It's like where in Japan, a lot of towns, especially small towns, have mascots and stuff like that. Where like it's a town mascot, and there was an anime about it, like where they train people or something. I can't even remember the name of it. And I couldn't find it either. But when I saw this under the demos, it reminded me of that. And you're an ex yakuza that's trying to help out this town with their mascots and get them running and working in small events and stuff, and you take care of it, and you just like they have this agency with like pretty good visual novel type aspect to this also with management. And this was the game that destroyed my demos because I started it first because I was most excited about it, and then I played it like almost all the way through till the demo was ended, and I was like an hour in, and I was like, okay, I just got to stop here and go to the next game because this is already a yes. I think it comes out in April. This is my number one game that spoiler alert of the list that I'm gonna absolutely buy. It was my favorite game of all the demos that I played. I absolutely loved it, enjoyed it. If you like that type of thing, if you like visual novels, if you like management, if you like quirky stories, it has a little bit of everything. You have a little car that you drive that is just insane, like because you just speed and hit shit and stuff. It's just a weird little aspect to the game, but I like it. I think overall this will be the game that I buy instantly, depending not even depending on the price. Like unless this is like a $70 game, if this is between like $20 to $30, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it in a heartbeat once it drops. It's gonna be day one type of buy and stream. So S tier for me. I really enjoyed it. Next up is Monsters Rest. It's basically you start a little inn and you take care of monsters that come and do it. It reminds me of Bed and Breakfast or Bear and Breakfast, where you're like a bear and you have like stuff and you make the inn and you like upgrade it. You make the rooms look nice from like getting stuff out there, and then you make the guests happy. So you basically talk to the guests. They all like different stuff like hunting or foraging or fishing, and then you do them with it so you can like obviously get your skills up and go. Yeah, all of that was fun. I think my main thing, at least I would add to the game, which is not a huge deal, I just me preference, I would like to have like a skill level up system. I don't know, I've never liked games that don't have that level up system. I just like to track stuff. I don't know, I'm a nerd for stats. So I would like that. I think altogether it was pretty cute. This is definitely just comes down to I want to buy. Probably just gonna buy it whenever it comes out. I would probably put it in A because obviously price depending on it, but I think that's the only thing that's stopping me is price. Anything else about it, I think it's definitely a pickup if you like those type of cozy games. Also like in games, like managing an inn. All of that's cool. Next up, we have A Nice Day for Fishing. It's basically like an RPG game, but for just fishing. I'm a big fishing game person. I don't know, like I fish in all the games like Stardew and all that. Like I'll just sit here and when I play Stardew with people, I'm just sitting there fishing the entire time. It's a pretty interesting concept. I definitely feel like it could be a game that you get highly addicted to by spending a lot of time on it because you just sit in there and you want to upgrade different stuff for your fishing, and then you have a little story with like the town you're in is getting attacked by like a big bad guy. It's like a pretty cool little RPG. It's like basically like a weird D&D campaign, but you're just mainly a fisherman and you kind of have to do some side quest stuff that is a little bit above your pay grade. But I think overall it seemed like it could have a lot of potential. This one fully depends on the price. Like basically with my A and B tier, the B tier ones are games that they price has to be right. The A tier ones, the price doesn't necessarily have to be right. I would, spend a little bit extra because I like the game. So I think that's kind of my, differentiation. Like I like this game, but if the price was way too high, I probably would never pick it up until it's on sale. I wouldn't feel like, oh my god, I'm like kind of missing out on it. The other two, like Parcel Sim and Monster Rest, I would feel kind of bummed if the price was too high for me. And if it was at a good price, I would try to get it as soon as possible. Last but certainly not least, it was the last demo I played was Nightclub Simulator. It was very simulator like because it had like the bare bones, but not necessarily a bad thing a lot of the times. I think there was a lot of weird background stuff that they had. I'm kind of a person that likes that. It's kind of was funny. We saw some like random stuff, like a locker beat up somebody, and random people dying. I don't know. It was very odd. It was definitely entertaining. This one is kind of a weird one because it's like I probably would pick it up, but the price would really have to be right because the game itself was really rough around the edges. There was a lot that I liked about it. I thought it had some potential. I didn't get super far into the game. I also don't know how far some of the demos go. I always like basically time myself on the demos. I try to give myself 20 to 30 minutes on the game, which most of these, except for Weeb Store Simulator, got. And that one was mainly because I kept soft locking it within like 2-3 minutes. So I did that a bunch of times and it just didn't work. But yeah, this one I gave, a good solid 20-30 minutes. It had some decent stuff. The cocktail making was okay. Wasn't super fun to me. I thought there could have been a little bit extra stuff there, and most of it was just like cleaning up vomits and beating up people. It wasn't the worst, but I definitely think it would have to be a really good price. So I put it on the lower B. I think I would pick it up if it was low enough priced, but I'm not. If it's not, I'm not gonna be like heartbroken about it. But yeah, those are my Steam Fest demos. I downloaded way more than this. I just only got to the 9 in one night, which is not bad, right? Like I don't feel like playing 9 games is that bad. If you want to see it, it should be under the live section on my YouTube. It should be like demos, it should say. I streamed it. It was like 4 or 5 hour stream of all these games pretty much, and you can see for yourself if there's one that you like, and if you heard of any of these or you're excited for any of these, put it in the comments. I highly recommend looking at Promise Mascot Agency. I can't stop thinking about this game. It comes out in April, so I'm really pumped for it. It's going to be instant buy the first day. It's already a wish list. I wish list basically the top 3 games for sure here. I don't remember if I got some of the ones with B's, but I might have to go back there and make sure. But yeah, this has been my list. I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.